Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Here we are. We're back. Mr. Bisping.
What is up, Luis J. Gomez?
How I can't speak too clearly because I just came back from the dentist and I have Novocaine all on the one side of my mouth.
I hate that. I mean, nobody likes going to the dentist. I mean, everybody says, oh, I hate going to the dentist, like they're making some big revelation. Newsflash, everybody hates going to the fucking dentist, but what you're experiencing right now, yeah, it sucks. It's a pain in the ass. What did you have done?
I had to do a deep cleaning, which just sucks. They go in, they have to numb your whole mouth and do it in quadrants. And then I had a couple fillings that I had to get. And this is it. I mean, look, I never grew up with the habit of flossing multiple times a day after every meal. It was like I would floss like 2-3 times a week at the most, if that. And then there's plenty of nights where I would go to bed without brushing my teeth. And I regret it so much. I'm going to teach my son, don't fuck around with your teeth. You do not want to have to deal with this shit. You don't have to deal with root canals or any of that stuff.
No, it's terrible, but I know this isn't a competition, but in terms of dental nightmares, I mean, save your British jokes, okay? But I've got you fucking beat all day.
Look at those pearly whites. You look like a fucking model's mouth right there.
Yeah, you know why? So it was 2 years ago, before the GSP fight. I get a message randomly of some dentist on Instagram. Basically, the gist of the message was, your teeth are fucked up. Let me fix them, right? So I text back. I said, well, are you going to hook it up? Do it for free? He goes, yeah, sure. Come and see me. So it turns out he's got a practice in Beverly Hills, round the corner from the Fox Studios, where I was going a lot at the time. So I swing by his practice one day just to check it out. Anyway, we get there. Dr. Connolly in Beverly Hills. My God. I swear to God, this place was ridiculous. The most beautiful building, like all the walls were made of glass, like all the staff were like models, supermodels, you know. And I was like, okay, this guy's legit. And I never really asked what the process was. He says, basically, I'll do $40,000 worth of work on your teeth if you do some Instagram for me. He said, believe it or not, in this day and age, my best marketing tool is Instagram. So if you do that, then I'll do them for free. So like a total knucklehead, I go, yeah, sure, no problem. Anyway, prior to it happening, he changes he moves the ball a little bit. He says, you don't have to do any Instagram, but I've got TMZ showing up. Okay, so fucking TMZ, which was very embarrassing. TMZ covered the entire thing. But anyway, here's the thing. I don't know if you haven't had veneers. They grind all your teeth away. So there was 2 hours of pure drilling, nonstop.
Are you awake?
I'm awake.
Fuck all that noise.
2 hours, and it was the most disgusting experience of my life. And anyway, when he finishes, he goes out the room probably to take a break or have a piss or whatever. And I grab my phone and I look in the mirror on my phone and my teeth have gone. I've literally just got a little toothpick for every one of my teeth. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck have I done? Why didn't I ask what the process was before doing this? And anyway, then he put some caps on.
You had no idea what veneers were, that you were getting your teeth completely replaced. You just agreed to do it.
No idea. I'm like, yeah, sure. Sounds like a bargain. $40,000 worth of work for a couple of Instagram posts. I'm in, baby boy. And anyway, so he puts these caps on for a week. It was like basically a gum shield, a mouthpiece of fake teeth. Then I go back a week later. He takes them out. He cleans the little tiny toothpicks of teeth. And then one by one, puts them in. Look at that smile. Oh,
look at that. They look good. Did it feel different when you? Because even when I get like a filling, when I close my mouth, it always feels a little different, and I have to get used to it.
It did at first. It doesn't now. Now it feels totally natural, totally normal. And the good thing about these veneers is not that we planned on talking about my Hollywood fucking teeth, but they can't stain either. You know, it's impossible for the material that they're made of to actually stain. So
they're white no matter what.
No matter what. I don't even need to brush my teeth. Fuck that shit.
I stopped brushing my teeth 2 years ago.
Bro, I'm saving so much money on toothpaste. It's ridiculous. But look at yours, Lewis. They look good, and they're all natural.
I have nice teeth. I have decent teeth, but I fucking dude, I hate it, man. And then I look at the dentist in the face every time, and I say, I hate you. I hate you so much. And he's like, all right, buddy. And then he fucking just goes in and starts drilling and poking needles into my mouth. It's just,
Have you started chewing off the side of your mouth yet? Normally, when my mouth goes numb, afterwards, when it all wears off, I've chewed off a fair bit of the inside of my mouth because I'm a moron.
No, I don't. It's fine. It's just I'm waiting for my fucking lip to come back in. It's just kind of annoying to talk. It's hard to drink. Can I get coffee, by the way? I have to freak out about the coffee this time instead of a Diet Coke.
Jesus Christ, last episode, guys. I'm working hard to get that footage. You don't know what you missed, but I will find it. I will get it, and I will post
Bisping,
it.
I have so much worse footage than you. Do you have any idea? I could destroy everything. It's over, baby boy.
Yeah, but that was the most current one. You know, you'd have to, listen. The last 6 months, it's been paradise. It's been smooth sailing. It's been calm waters. But that Diet Coke gate, my God, that was something. That was special. That was really special. What else apart from being numb? What's going on in your life, buddy?
I got a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, traveling a lot. Holidays are here. Excited to almost have all of the stuff purchased and behind me, which is great. I still got to get like the stuff for like adults in my life. I'm going to Macy's after this to bring my son to meet Santa Claus, which is a little bit late.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Before we get into that, I know he might hear this, and kids believe in Santa. In fact, this is Lucas's last year of believing in Santa. We just had Rebecca's family here. Her parents, they left. Now we have her brother and their family. And so Lucas has a cousin here, Alyssa. She's 9 years old. She doesn't believe in Santa at all. At all. She knows it's total bullshit. So I had to sit her down and say, listen, you don't burst a bubble in the Bisping house. You don't burst a bubble, okay? If Lucas discovers that Santa is fake while you're here, we're going to have a serious problem. But what is James's main present? What are you going for? I
got him a lot of stuff. I got him jiu-jitsu mats for the house because he loves doing jiu-jitsu and he always wants to wrestle on the bed. So I was like, let me buy him like a nice mat so he can put it down in the living room whenever he wants to wrestle. Then I got him, just like a lot of just little toys and video games and things. But the one thing that he really wanted, which didn't exist, it didn't exist, but it was very rare, was these Captain Underpants toys, these figurines. I told you I got them on eBay for $125. They're very rare. They only released them with the movie, very limited release. But I told James, because I wanted him to know how rare it is, I was like, James, they don't really make Captain Underpants toys. It's going to be pretty hard to get those. And he goes, Dad, I know they don't make Captain Underpants toys. Mom looked for them for me. But I asked Santa for them. Santa's going to make them in his workshop. With as serious as could be. So it's not even a question. He believes in Santa. And these toys are going to come. So the magic is here for another year, baby bubble.
So we've got all Lucas's presents apart from he wants a scooter because he went to
he's got a scooter. Yeah, he's got a scooter.
Yeah. Getting Lucas a skate park. He's already got a skate park, a scooter. He went to the skate park with Ellie and Megan and had a lot of fun with his scooter. So he wants a good scooter. And then also recently on Thanksgiving, you got Black Friday and all that. We were in Best Buy looking at TVs which got installed yesterday, and he saw a drone, and we were looking at the drones, and I've bought drones for the children before, and they're a fucking nightmare. You fly them up, they crash into trees. We had one drone flying up. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to cause a full-on car crash because I can't control the damn thing. But this guy was telling me, oh no, these drones, these are really good. In fact, you click a button and it just follows you. It just flies itself and follows you and films it all in HD and things like that. And he was saying how easy it was. I'm like, oh, Lucas, you want a drone? And anyway, now he's telling his uncle and auntie that are staying with us that he's getting a drone for Christmas. I'm like, fuck, I can't disappoint the guy. So I've got to go get him a drone.
How much is the drone?
I don't think it's too much. Like 150, something like that. It's not bad. But you're going to see Santa with James, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to see Santa at Macy's, which is, the place to go see Santa Claus with a kid. It's not your normal mall. Do you know the way it works at Macy's? Because you've never been to New York for Christmas and done that experience, right?
I've been in New York in the Christmas festive period, but I haven't been there for Christmas. I haven't gone and done the whole Macy's thing, whatever it is. La-di-da, Lewis lives in New York, and you don't know about Christmas until you've been to Macy's in New York. Look, stick it up your ass, because I guarantee Lucas would not be interested. We have Santas down here. We have imposters. We have fake Santas everywhere. Lucas will not entertain it. You know, as they get to like 3-4 years old, you want to sit him on the lap. You want to get the family picture. He freaks out. He's like, I am not sitting on a stranger's lap.
He's never done it?
He literally throws a fit. He goes insane. So we're like, oh, sorry, Santa. And we leave very embarrassed.
So you don't even try now at this point?
There's no point. He just wants the presents. He doesn't want to meet Santa. He's not interested. He likes to leave a cookie, and I leave a beer and a carrot. But that's it. He doesn't. I leave a beer for Santa. Santa's got a very stressful evening, okay? There's children all over the world. I leave a fucking beer. I'm like, Santa, this one's on me, doggy. You take a seat. You have a beer on the Bispings.
I leave him an Oxycontin on a plate and just a shot of whiskey. And I'm like, dude, get out there, baby boy. It's cold. Have some fun tonight. Warm yourself up, kid. Yeah, no, in Macy's, the way it works, though, it's not just one Santa Claus, because you go down to your local mall, the Orange County fucking Summer Springs fuckface is not real Christmas center because it's 85 degrees right now. That's not great. You're right. I also wouldn't want to sit on Santa's lap. I wouldn't have Christmas spirit if I lived in California. This is New York City, baby boy. Miracle on 34th Street. This is an entire subculture of Christmas built into New York City. Thanksgiving Day parade, Santa Claus comes out at the end. That's the parade that you watch. We live.
It's going to be a very, very unseasonal 66 degrees today, Lewis, okay? The weather for the week, according to the iPhone, 75, 73, 66. Oh, then next week, 57, 58, wow. 59 on Christmas Day with rain. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
29 today, 35 tomorrow, 34, 46. 49, we're getting warm. 46, 47 on Christmas Day. Pretty nice Christmas Day here in New York City. Here's what they do in New York, okay? Because it's not just one Santa Claus sitting in a chair and then a line of people waiting to see him, like you're probably used to. Very basic, very simplistic the way they do it there. Once you go, there's like a whole long line that you wait on, and then there's like train sets that are going by and different little mystical areas of the North Pole. Really, really cool. And then you get into a section where you sort of split off, and they have little like wooden sections. There's probably 20 different Santa Claus working. So all of the kids are going off.
So you're totally dispelling the myth of Santa.
No, the kids don't see it.
Why is there more Santas than there is elves and children in the mall? Come on.
You're not understanding. The kids don't see it. So they split you off in a way where it's like they have multiple lines that are happening, but you only get to see that one Santa. The kids have no idea. They're none the wiser, okay? But it's pretty cool the way they do it.
What about the fact you're in there, you're taking James in, you're getting him all hyped. You know, you're going to see Santa. Make sure you tell him what you want. He goes in, right? He sits on Santa's lap. He says, I want a train set or whatever it is. And then you're walking out. And one of the many other Santas, and let's bear in mind, if you're working as a Santa in the Christmas period, maybe your life never panned out the way you want it. Maybe you've got a slight drinking problem. This Santa on this occasion is sick of all the sniveling little shitty children, spoiled. This Santa never got anything as a kid, but he's got to tolerate all these children saying, I want this, I want that. And he says, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm done. He throws the kid up. He storms out. James is walking out after just sitting on one Santa. All of a sudden, he's met with the reality of another Santa in a bad mood, right? Christmas is ruined for James. Have you ever thought about that scenario for a second?
That is a stretch. It's very specific. I mean, technically, just as easily, your niece could go to Lucas and be like, hey, Santa doesn't exist, you fucking loser.
The biggest slap. Bigger than when I said to my mom, there is no God. And that was a big slap, believe you me.
Yeah. It was, you handled your mom the same way you handled Vitor Belfort?
No, I did. I've spoke about this before because we always got in trouble for not going to church. I said, Mum, there is no God. And that's when the biggest slap of hell ever came.
But look, it is the holiday spirit. There's some things that are happening in the news. You brought this up to me. You sent me a text message about they're trying to change Santa Claus. Altogether, they're trying to change Santa Claus. They're saying, I guess, Santa Claus being a man is now a problem. Father Christmas should be banned to make it more gender neutral.
Yeah, which is, listen, of course, in this day and age, gender is a big thing, and there's transgender people, there's gender neutral, there's non-binary, all this type of thing. And listen, you do you. Whatever makes you happy,
Doggy.
have a bit of respect. No, listen, I don't care. I don't care. Be a man, be a woman, be whatever you want.
You can be a reindeer this holiday season. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying.
Identify as the beer on my chimney for fucking Santa if you want. Identify as the carrot that I'm going to leave for the reindeer, okay? But I'll tell you fucking what, you don't mess with Santa's fucking gender. Right?
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line. He is known, see, Santa is a very American term. In England, it's Father Christmas. Father Christmas. Now, I get it. In this story, I'm trying to find the actual quote because I can't find it. I sent it to you, but now I don't have it. But I think it's a lady that the father isn't around, and therefore, she said it shouldn't be Father Christmas. It should be gender neutral. I've just been shamed for using the name Father Christmas and told that Santa is now seen as gender neutral. I was only referring to the book Father Christmas by Raymond Briggs, but it's left me a little confused on edge about what we're allowed to say.
We're allowed to say Father Christmas.
And I don't really want to raise him saying Father Christmas because it's hurtful to some. Well, no, it's not, because it goes back to Kris Kringle, I think, in some European country in like the 16th century or something, who was a man. You know what I mean? And listen, it's tradition. It's tradition. As I say, if you want to identify as whatever you want to identify as, I'm very tolerant. You do whatever you want. You do you. I'm very happy, and peace and love to men and women and reindeers and non-binaries and whatever you want to call yourself all over the world. But don't fuck with Santa Claus. Don't mess with Father Christmas. Do not mess with the institution of Christmas, or I will go to war with you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, why can't we have characters? I mean, look, it's a fake character, right? It's a silly, made-up character.
It doesn't exist.
So, but why can't we have male characters, just like we can have female characters? I got no problem with the fucking Tooth Fairy. Let that bitch fly all over the place in a pink and purple tutu. Have fun, Tooth Fairy. I don't give a shit. The legend of Santa Claus can be traced back hundreds of years to a monk named Saint Nicholas. It's believed that Nicholas was born sometime around 20 AD in Patara near Myra in early day Turkey. Yeah, I mean, my problem is this, and this we've talked about this plenty of times. Every holiday season, they have to inject some sort of politicized social justice thing where you're like, if I were to walk outside and I were just to say, I want to be offended by something. I want something to trigger something in me about being Hispanic, brown, poor, gay, straight, whatever it is. I can find the triggers. I can find street signs. I can find people walking down the street. I can find cars, names of businesses. I can figure it out. And if you're looking for it, you will always find it. So this is yet another thing. They go, cool, well, let's make a thing out of it. Nobody, I mean, there's probably 1% of the people in the world that would consider this to be a legitimate thing. But
Well, I'm sorry, but as you're talking there, I've just realized that the term Mother Nature is super offensive to me.
True.
And Mother Nature, it should be a guy, or it should just be nature, not Mother Nature. I mean, I find the terms that it's a mother and it's a female and we're gender specific it's troubling. It's troubling to me, Lewis.
To be honest with you, it would be even funnier if there was a transgendered Santa Claus. Just comes down, just fucking wearing short shorts with his fucking boobs and his balls hanging out. Look, we're just fucking around. I really do believe, like, everyone can fucking do whatever they want to do with their body. You can love who you want to love. But when it infringes upon, I don't want to say the rights because that's a wrong term, but when it starts to, it's spilling into my lap. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, well, no, leave Christmas alone. Don't tell me that I have to change the way that I've been raised and the way that I view. And it's not religious. It's not social. It's just a character that happens to be a male character. They have female Ghostbusters now. Go have female Ghostbusters. Leave Santa Claus alone.
Have female Ghostbusters, have female whatever you want, But as you said, you hit the nail on the head. Everybody wants to be offended. They're trying to change things that don't need to be changed. There's no reason to be offended by Santa being a man, Father Christmas being a man. It's just ridiculous. Throughout the tradition, it was a man. Sometimes they're women, sometimes they're men, and just leave it at that. And it's for children. It is for children. Why are you complicating the matter? Do you know what I mean? Just let it be. If it's a woman, as you said, the Tooth Fairy, great example. You know, let the Tooth Fairy be, let Father Christmas be, and just enjoy yourself and have a nice time at Christmas. Why they're politicizing it, why they're trying to make it overly PC, it's just beyond me. It's absolutely crazy. And shame bell for that. I was looking for it earlier. I think the maids have cleaned up the shame bell. I'll have to have I'm taking away the Christmas bonus. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You move the shame bell out of my studio. That's it. All right, guys, if you're looking for the perfect gift this holiday season, well, you can order it from the comfort of your own home. Our friends at So Right have an amazing holiday deal going on right now at SoRight.com. So Right is the perfect holiday gift because it's basically like having a personal massage therapist right at home in the office. The So Right massager was designed to mimic the way a massage therapist would use their body to massage a client, providing the ultimate, convenient, and affordable solution to sore muscles. Listen, the So Right, it's a piece of plastic. It's molded, 2 big peaks. You put it on the floor, right? And you basically manipulate your body onto it, into the sore areas. For me personally, years and years of fighting, I suffer with my mobility. I can't put on a suit jacket without somebody assisting me. So I've been making that part of my daily routine. Now, listen, when you first start, it will be kind of painful because it's new to you. But what I started off doing was taking a cushion, putting it on top of the peaks because my body was so sensitive because it was so screwed, basically. I couldn't actually use it. But with the cushion, it helps it a bit. And now I don't use the cushion. Every morning I get out of bed, I do 10 minutes there. Before I go to bed, I do another 10 minutes and I'm improving all the time. It's helping out with the pain in my lower back and it will help you too.
And also, if you guys go onto their website, they have videos that show you the different techniques you guys can use. It's really such a cool, amazing thing. If you have friends, family, whoever it is, yourself that's in pain, especially during the holiday season, the cold weather kicks in, my body starts to ache a little bit more, my feet start to ache a little bit more. So Right is the perfect gift. So right now, go to SoRight.com. That's PSO-RITE.com. There's no promo code or anything. The So Right is already priced perfectly for you guys. It's already very, very affordable. Just go there right now. They have an amazing deal going on. SoRight.com, PSO-RITE.com. All right, Mike, let's get back into it. We talked last year about they were freaking out about the lyrics to Baby It's Cold Outside. They were saying it's way too rapey. And it is a little rapey.
It's not rapey. It's a man trying to cajole a woman to staying and then maybe getting romantic. It's how things have been done, right? It is not rape. Is, oh, come on. It's a nice romantic song, okay? And he's trying to pursue the love of a lady. And she's into it. She's saying no, but she really meant yes, okay? I guess that couldn't be, interpreted as slightly rapey. But, I feel like in the video, they're even touching each other's arms as they're saying it. They're rubbing each other's legs. It's a nice song, okay? It's a Christmas song. And once again, the world has gone batshit crazy.
Well, there's nuance, right? So yes, I agree with you that, especially if you know somebody, right? So like, let's say I know a girl and I'm friends with her and we've hooked up before and it's like her no is just really like a playful yes, right? She's like playing around, right? And that's sort of what the video is.
Like the young lady that you're going on a date with soon.
Say nothing about that, please.
I'm saying nothing.
So...
Don't text me. Don't text me that as a potential talking point. That's all
I said not. I said it's not a talking point. I said, my friend, I'm sending you a text message about this girl that I'm excited I'm going on a date with. Don't mention it on the podcast. Friend.
Okay. Sorry, I totally misread that. Okay. Continue as you were, everybody.
So, what's it called? So. The nuance there is like, her, anybody watching from the outside goes like, well, no, she said no over 45 times in this song. I mean, it's literally over in every verse. The chorus is her just saying no over and over again. And yes, I agree with you. It is very silly, especially an old school song. But they ended up remaking the lyrics. I don't know if you saw this, Bisping.
I did not. Please, I can't wait to hear how terrible and shitty the lyrics are. But go ahead.
Who did they have do it? It was Michael Bublé, I believe.
Legend and
John Legend.
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, John Legend. Listen, I'll just say this right now: the most annoying fuckwit on the planet, right? John Legend, of course, John Legend.
Why don't you like John Legend?
Because he's a cock. Simple as that. He just rubs me up the wrong way. Look at his face. He's so smug. But wasn't there some controversy with John Legend as well? But he's Mr. fucking whatever now.
I don't like Kelly Clarkson. That's very funny that you don't like John Legend. I specifically don't like Kelly Clarkson because she's been publicly pro spanking with her kids. And it's like, and I have an aversion to that. It's something that I'm very serious about. And yeah, she claims she's not above spanking her kids, and she's talked about it.
You can't claim that only you are very passionate about being anti-hitting your children. I'm also anti-hitting your children. I don't like to beat the piss out of my children, okay? So that you can't claim that like, listen, guys, I'm pro not beating my kids up. You should say, we don't beat our children.
You're always looking for a problem, just like the SJWs out there. Every day in life, like there was a non-issue there. There was no problem with my sentence there. This is why I personally have a problem with Kelly Clarkson, though. And we've talked about this plenty of times on the show. But yeah, she talked about her not being above spanking her kids, and she did an interview talking about how it's good for your kids to be spanked. And I don't want to get preachy on this show, and we don't have to get into the topic, but it's very funny that you don't like John Legend and I don't like Kelly Clarkson. We have a beef here. Podcast war.
What are we going to do about it?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I'll take Kelly Clarkson. You take John Legend.
Happily. I want to see the headlines after you beat up Kelly Clarkson. I'll slap John Legend. You know, and it would just be a little slap, a little love tap. Nothing like the left hook Larry. I mean, come on. If ever there was a face that needs slapping, there it is, John Legend. I've never met the guy. He's probably the nicest guy ever. Okay, he's just got one of those faces. You know what I mean? And coming on with this bloody "it's cold outside" problem. Come on, shut up. Get a grip.
So what were the? Let's see. I really can't stay. I've got to go away. But I can call you a ride. This evening has been. I'm so glad that you dropped in. So yeah, he's just telling her like, hey, no problem. Go ahead, go. Get out of here. This passionless guy. That's not what a woman wants, by the way. She doesn't want a man being like, hey, no problem. I don't even want you. Get out of here, bitch. It's freezing outside. It's snowing. She wants him to say, hey, you know what? It's snowing outside. It's probably dangerous.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking up for the scandal of John Legend. So here's what it was. Piers Morgan. Do you know who Piers Morgan is? He does a show in England. Yeah, he's great. You know, I don't necessarily agree with his views on politics, but he's good on TV. He has a lot of debates on breakfast television in the morning, and I watch them on YouTube. And he was saying, talking about this whole thing, how John Legend, you know, he hangs out and he's done rap videos with Kanye West and all these rappers, and they're talking about, you know how rappers talk about women in a lot of their videos, you know, and a lot of their songs, they're very degrading, right? You know, they call them bitches constantly. They talk about all kinds of stuff, right? They objectify women massively, right? And he called them bitches and this and that. He has no problem with that. He has no problem with hanging out with the rappers that talk like that. But oh my God, a classic song from what, the 20s, 30s, maybe 40s, that's a very innocent thing. Baby, it's cold outside. Oh, that's what he has a problem with. But Jay-Z, Kanye West, all those big rappers, bitch this, bitch that, bitch this, go fuck yourself, motherfucker. He doesn't have an issue with that. But their classic song, the classic Christmas song, which puts a smile on everybody's face, warms your heart. It's a tale as old as man itself. Man hooking up with woman. It's a song to be rejoiced and celebrated. That's what he has a problem with. So therefore, John Legend can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's silly. Yeah, I'm looking at it. He defended this version. And at first I was saying, well, maybe he just got paid to fucking record a song. And he was like, yeah, if they paid me, I'd record the song too. I don't give a shit, right? But yeah, he's defending it. And
you throw $1 million at me, that Baby It's Cold Outside song is bullshit, okay? I'm with Chrissy Teigen. I am with John Legend all day long. You know, it's so fucking rapey. And I'm not about that. I am father of a 16-year-old daughter. You think I would sign off on a song that is so suggestive like that?
Whoa. Father, that's a little bit offensive. You are a parent to a 16-year-old child.
I was 50% part of conceiving a human being that arrived on this earth 16 years ago.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's not 50% even. I mean, it's like 8%.
No, I know.
We do nothing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Women cannot have children by themselves, okay? Yeah. 50% man, 50% woman. The eggs need inseminating.
I'm just saying, if you're let's say it's a workload, right? So let's say we're doing a podcast together, right? Okay. Fair enough. She's editing, she's posting, she's figuring out the RSS feed. We're literally showing up and going, hey, and then we leave, and then the woman does all the other podcast production. It's just Harrington. Harrington's basically a pregnant woman.
In essence, Gas Digital Studios, Lewis, Brian, Harrington, and everyone behind the scenes is the woman, and the man in this situation is Michael Bisping coming in with his big swinging dick, just laying it,
No, me and you are both the men, just dropping loads inside of Harrington and Brian and watching them have to just pick up all the pieces for 9 months.
Oh, God. If I have £1 for every time a woman, my wife, anytime childbirth is brought up, it's the most painful thing. And when I was going through my knee replacement,
you were like, you never had veneers, bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't understand, babe. The pain is so bad. She goes, Michael, I've given birth to 3 children. I'm like, yes, I get it. But at this moment in time, I'm suffering. Can we just let me have my suffering? And can you sympathize with me for a second? It's not a competition.
And even if it was a competition, the most painful thing to you in terms of like your scale, like 10, 10 for you is still 10 for you. You can't disparage the fact that you're in the most pain you've ever been in your entire life because she's also been in pain. Okay, Rebecca, guess what? There are people that have their legs blown off in war in the Middle East. You don't have to deal with that. And you don't get to bring that up.
And I also said, babe, it's the most natural thing in the world. Every single person on this planet was given birth to, okay? And not everyone's complaining about it. So just deal with it. That's what you wanted. You wanted to be a mother, okay? Take the rough with the smooth, the highs with the lows, the peaks with the troughs. Deal with it, please. Now make me a coffee.
Very, very few people have had to have reconstructive knee surgery. That is a rare thing. I mean,
one eye.
Jesus Christ, Rebecca, have a little respect. You're one of many women. It's like she's bragging about getting up and fucking breathing the air she breathes. Welcome to life. You're a woman. You're going to have a baby.
I would like to take this moment to just say that we are joking because the other day, a certain topic regarding a certain someone slapping a certain ass, or somebody might have been a reporter. I got a lot of shit for that on Instagram, and not on Instagram, on the YouTube section. And maybe you are right, everybody. Maybe I was wrong. I was off on that one. On this occasion, we're having a laugh. I'm joking. I love my wife dearly, and her suffering of 3 children. Ooh, it was really bad. God bless her.
Did you ever hear the Bill Burr bit where he talks about it's not even just childbirth, but he's just talking about it's from Why Do I Do This? Great special, but he's talking about how women are like being a stay-at-home mom is the hardest job in the world. He's like, yeah, tell that to a roofer in July.
He says, tell it to the guys down the coal mines, breathing in that coaly dust every day, swinging an axe in the middle of January, freezing their balls off. But being a mother is the hardest job alive.
She's like, I gotta bend over and pick up this DVD.
Sitting around with your friends and nursing your babies on your lap while drinking bloody pina coladas or whatever it is you drink. We sound like sexy. Which we're not. Okay, lighten up, everybody.
We're also dads who are very, very involved at home all the time with our kids, so I know what it's like. Me and my son, mother, co-parent, we play. They're cool. In fact, he helps me. I make him clean.
I took Lucas to jiu-jitsu last night. We had a great time. He's bonded
doing jiu-jitsu now?
Yeah, he's doing jiu-jitsu, down at UFC Gym Costa Mesa with Brady Fink, who was my jiu-jitsu coach, so that's nice. Yeah, no, he loves it. Absolutely loves it. I thought recently, because I've been so busy, but I was like, because I've done all this martial arts and stuff. If I didn't pass that down to Lucas and Callum, then I'm failing as a father, so I'm making sure I do that. He's 9 years old now. Well, she's not interested, but I do want her to do jiu-jitsu. If there's anybody that I want to teach jiu-jitsu to, it's my wife and my daughter. But Ellie's really not interested whatsoever. Rebecca's trying to get her to do it. Obviously for a pretty girl like that or any woman, there is sexual predators out there. Knowing jiu-jitsu is very, very handy. Some jiu-jitsu you can go out there and learn on YouTube, though, Lewis. Like Bryce Mitchell. He learned that twister submission that he had recently. Harrington, get your cock out. Get your cock out. Bryce Mitchell, 2 shows in a row. We're discussing him. Thug nasty in your face.
Wow.
He learned the twister on YouTube.
I'm just impressed with your transition there.
It was good. I'll give you another one. Max Holloway yesterday was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he said that he learned to strike by playing the UFC video game.
Well,
that's pretty incredible. Well, it's a little moronic when you're fighting in the UFC, and apparently he didn't even train with a striking coach until the loss to Conor McGregor, which, to be honest, is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, that it's impressive. It's very impressive.
I mean, it's fine to a certain degree, but it's like you're still sparring. So that's where you're learning. He learned to strike from sparring other mixed martial artists. That's where he learned to strike. I get that maybe the first time he looked at a jab and a cross, he was like, that's a cool combo. Like maybe, but in that case, I learned how to kick from Street Fighter when I was a kid. Like it's just, no. It's
well, you could do Joken.
Yes, I can do that.
You can do a spinning bird kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who does that move?
That's E Honda, and that's much more my style. Yeah.
100 hand slap.
Yeah. That's E Honda. Yeah, I love Street Fighter, and we were supposed to have a Street Fighter tournament at one point. We should,
bro.
When we're in person again.
In January, I'm coming up to New York. Okay, I'm coming up. We'll get the Street Fighter out, and I will beat you.
I have it. I have the system. We can. I promise you, we can figure out how to plug it in through here, and people can watch us do it. We should get a BetDSI bet going.
Digital tournament. Okay, simple as that. And I
love it.
I don't know. Maybe it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's like riding a bike. You're never going to forget how to play Street Fighter. And I'll just be cheap. Yeah. I'll get you in the corner. I'll just fucking keep on being Chun-Li doing that backflip kick. You're in trouble, baby boy.
I'll just keep being Blanca and electrocuting the shit out of you every time you try and spinning bird kick me upside down into the electricity.
I don't ever do a spinning bird kick, but what I can do is I can do that backflip kick over and over again, and it will actually not be affected by your electricity.
I will Balrog uppercut the fuck out of you, okay?
We're not playing Street Fighter Turbo. Nobody said anything about Turbo. We're playing regular Street Fighter 2, baby boy. You can't be Balrog.
Vega? No Vega?
You fucking gay bitch. You want to be Vega?
I know.
Sorry.
Vega, no. So I wasn't thinking about Vega. Is so gay. Where he prances about everyone and climbs up the octagon like this, and then jumps off and like taps on your head with his feet. But no, I was talking about M. Bison. M. Bison's a badass.
Yeah, he is a bad motherfucker.
Anyway, we'll do that though. That'll be fun. So what is going on in the world of mixed martial arts?
Well, what do you think about these guys saying that they're learning, from YouTube videos? I mean, there's a certain degree where you can learn stuff, but just what I've learned from training the little bit that I've trained is I didn't know anything about fighting or martial arts or about punching or anything until I actually sparred. The first time I sparred with somebody and they were actually trying to hit me, not a street fight where adrenaline kicks in and you're just being a drunk idiot. I'm talking about sparring with the intent of he's trying to do martial arts on me, I'm trying to do martial arts on him, and we're going to meet together. And it was a huge learning experience. And that's where it was like, holy shit, all that technique and all that bullshit until you're fearful of being hit, until sort of that adrenaline kicks in, until you sort of put everything in front of you, you don't really know what it is. And I think that is why I've said this before with kids, it's why jiu-jitsu is the best martial arts for kids, because at the end of every class, they spar for 20 minutes and they're really doing jiu-jitsu. They're trying to choke each other out, whereas boxing, Muay Thai, any of these other things, kids can't actually spar. So you're not getting the real practical versions of the martial art.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sparring is absolutely critical to any kind of progress, because it's one thing being shown a technique. Certainly in jiu-jitsu, you might be shown how to do a Kimura from guard, how to do an armbar or a triangle, but trying to do it on an opponent that is resisting, that is squirming, that is, just trying to escape and evade everything you're doing, that's very, very different. And certainly when it comes to stand-up striking, you have to spar. Sparring is essential. Like you always see, pad men, you can see guys hitting pads and they can look sensational on pads, but it's very different doing it against another opponent that's moving. Like, so people talk to me about Callum, is he going to fight and things like that? Of course, he's got the grappling down, maybe not the jiu-jitsu so much because he's been focusing on wrestling so much, but the wrestling is there, and he did used to do a lot of jiu-jitsu, and I've taken him on the pads ever since he was a young man. Like we can do a video of him on the pads and he'll look good. He'll look like a beast, but he hasn't really sparred much. You know what I mean? And the sparring is very different because then you got to have the confidence to stand in the pocket and throw your punch when they can throw one at the exact same time. You know what I mean? And once you get hit in the face, it changes everything. It really does. The timing, the commitment, you got to move your head, until you start sparring, you don't really know if you're really making any progress. Yes, you can work your technique on the pads. You can work your fitness. You can work your combinations. But in terms of fighting ability, you have to spar. And that's regardless whether it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing, kickboxing, wrestling. You got to go against another human being that's resisting.
So that's, yeah, I think that
That's why I used to spar so much. That's why every single training camp I sparred a lot. And, sometimes it was maybe detrimental because unfortunately when you spar hard, you do get injured. But I always used to say, people used to say to me, how do you get your cardio so good? I said, well, I spar 3 times a week. And on top of that, I run, I hit pads, I wrestle, I do jiu-jitsu, I do all that stuff. But I spar, I replicate the fight Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. I do 5 rounds with 3 or 4 training partners, with a fresh man every 2.5 minutes so that they're not getting tired. I always say, if you want to get good at football, go play football. Want to get good at tennis? Go play tennis. You want to improve at being a fighter? Practice fighting. So yes, you need to train the technique. You need to perfect the craft. You need to hone the techniques, but you got to put it into practice. And nothing replicates the cardio like sparring. Because, you're getting hit in the stomach. That might affect your breathing. A lot of people, they hold their breath when they fight as well. That's why you hear a lot of coaches on the sideline saying, breathe, because it's so funny. A lot of people, even experienced fighters, when they're in the middle of trading blows, they hold their breath. And you hear them say, it's weird. Going into this fight, my cardio was great, but I gassed out early. It's because they're not breathing, So just little things like that, that can only be replicated through sparring.
Yeah, and that's with anything. I mean, you can run all day long. Like even when I'm in the best shape of my life and I'm running a lot and I could run a few miles, then you throw me in a pool and my body's just not used to that type of output and specifically doing that exercise. So it's very, I think you have to specifically do what that sport is, and that's the way it puts certain wear and tear in your body, and your body adjusts to that specifically. Excuse me, I apologize. So, all right, let's switch gears a little bit here. I mean, there's a few things to talk about. We've got fights this weekend coming up. I guess we can end the show with getting some picks for the main and co-main event. But there's some other stuff. I mean, let's do a little bit of follow-up here. All right, last time we were on the show, we watched who was it that put together that cringy video?
Henry Cejudo.
Oh, Cejudo. That's right. Yeah, it was Henry Cejudo put together that.
I had no idea where you were going then. I'm like, I can't even begin to help you out at all because I have no idea where you're going. All right, so Henry Cejudo, go ahead.
Yeah, so he put together that cringy video, and we talked very extensively about, it's fine. We appreciate the attempt. Could have picked some hotter models, but fine, Henry. You're doing good, buddy. Now, Jose Aldo, who Dana White has all but said is going to be granted a title shot against Henry Cejudo, even after losing his fight, put out his own response video. And according to Harrington, the cringe is also real with Jose.
Let's take a look.
Seguro. Sou caveira. Henry Cejudo, enquanto você tá de férias, eu tô aqui, ó. Olha o que eu vou fazer com a tua cabeça. Você vai ver.
Harrington, I have to say.
Ninguém segura.
All right.
I mean, was there not a translation?
Yeah, but I'm going to say, Harrington, how do you know that the cringe is real? Harrington, do you speak Portuguese?
No, but anytime I see cartoon flames coming out of a gun, it's kind of cringy.
I don't know. I feel like the production scale, production value is through the roof right now. I mean, I would love some cartoon firepower on this show that you simply cannot recreate. Maybe he was saying some very deep and meaningful things. Maybe, the cartoon flames, they signify something deeper. We just don't know because we don't have Google Translate out here. You're out there. You're criticizing a legend, Harrington. A legend.
What have
Jose
you done,
Aldo.
Harrington?
Perhaps the greatest featherweight the sport has ever seen, the king of Rio, okay? And he's merely responding to Henry Cejudo. And what do? Criticize.
Well, you're going to have to watch the premiere tonight to see what I've done.
Uh-oh, he's going to add some animation? It's just when Bisping gets angry, it's like little steam marks over his head.
It'll just be anything that makes you look good and makes me look bad. We know what's going on here. You know what I mean? Harrington, we know where Harrington's bread is buttered. We get it, Harrington's all right. Good. I like it. Listen, Cejudo said he wants to fight Jose Aldo. Jose came back and did his little thing, whatever it is. He talked a bit of shit. It's great. It's building hype for the fight. More importantly, what Jose is trying to do, what Jose is trying to do is solidify that matchup. Because Henry's come out, he's talked about it, we talked about it, it made headlines, that fight is a possibility. He's just trying to add fuel to the fire, keep the momentum going, and just make sure that fight happens. Because I am damn sure that Jose Aldo wants to fight Henry Cejudo for the belt. I mean, to be 145 champion, drop down to 135, fight Cejudo, who's actually a double champ right now, 25 and 35, beat him. I mean, come on. And then Jose should retire because Jose's been around forever. He's been doing his thing for the longest time. I underestimated him going into that fight with Marlon Moraes. I thought he was too sucked out. I thought he was going to get knocked out, but he proved everybody wrong. In my opinion, he won that fight. They should make that fight, and I'll love to see it. So good for Jose Aldo. That's what I say. No cringe. I say good for him.
Yeah, I say cringe on you, Harrington, for even suggesting that was cringe in that video. Can we issue a public apology to Jose and his production team?
Harrington, the floor is yours. The microphone is yours. What do you say to Jose Aldo right now?
I'd like to apologize to absolutely
on behalf
no one.
of. Whoa.
That was
Can you
hardcore.
take Connor's balls out of your mouth for 1 second? Every time I look at Matthew, there's always a Connor story in there, and he had to drop a little quote. I'm going to give you one last chance, Harrington. One last chance.
It's a legend you're talking to right now. He's going to hear this, without a doubt.
Yeah, but maybe he won't have a translator either.
Harrington, you're representing our show. This is the problem with Harrington. He doesn't realize that he does not represent himself as a human. He represents the show. So when he's out there talking shit on Twitter, when he's trashing people, when he does things like this, it's a reflection on the Believe You Me podcast. In fact, the entire believer community.
And they're as angry as I am right now. Harrington, last chance. What say you?
All right, what I will say is this. If I'm actually representing the believer community, I'll put out a poll on Twitter. If they don't think it's cringe, I will publicly apologize to Jose Aldo. I think that's fair.
That's fair. I'll say Bisping. I'll give him that. That's fair. Public poll.
I like it, but you need to get your staff whipped into shape. I like it. I mean, okay, fair enough. We're going to get interactive with the people. That's all good. Interaction is a positive thing, but still, when this show's over, just give him a little kick.
We did ask him 3 times to apologize. We shouldn't have to ask for anything more than once.
He ignored you every single time. Hold on, Lewis, are you Harrington's boss or not?
I don't know that Harrington's technically an employee. At this point, he just sort of shows up and we let him in. We feed him. We kind of treat him like a stray cat. We put a can of food outside.
M&Ms and coffee.
I wish there was M&Ms.
Oh, dear. All right. I'll tell you what I do want to talk about. I'm looking at here. It's 0.11 on Harrington's nose. Justin Gaetjhe pays nearly $1,500 to wipe out student lunch debt. Harrington, you put this in. I never saw this story, but I do like this. Certainly at this time of year, Christmas around the corner, it's all about giving and helping one another. Can you give us a few details on that, Harrington?
Yeah, so it's high school and middle school near where his training camp is in Colorado. He paid off nearly $1,500 in total lunch debt that the kids had accrued so far in the school year. So they're starting off the new year with a clean slate. Thanks, Justin Gaetjhe.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing things like that. It's nice when people give back, do something good. It's kind of fucked up that these families are getting in debt just so their children can eat lunch at school. That's a shame, but I guess it does happen. But yeah, good on Justin Gaetjhe.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't really understand what it was done. So these kids, it's like poor kids from these schools. Like I guess they put them in debt.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. So the families are getting in debt. Just because they're trying to feed their kids lunches at school, which is a real shame. It's really sad. And he stepped in and he's done the right thing and said, you know what? It's Christmas. I'm doing well. Life is good. I'll take care of this. I think that's awesome. Round of applause, Justin Gaetjhe.
Don't they have some sort of like free lunch program for like poor families? That's what I was on.
I don't know. I'm going off the details that Harrington gave me. You're the American. I'm English. I'm a guest in this country. I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm not wholly impressed. First of all, $1,500.
Why?
Just not that much money.
What's the last act of charity that you did?
I let Harrington in the studio today.
No, but outside of self-serving, because that's self-serving. If there's another show coming from Gas Digital, it's all good in the hood for Luis J. Gomez and your partner rolling in your deep pockets. What's the last genuine act of kindness that you did for somebody else that you weren't going to get rewarded for?
Well, we did the Legion of Skanks Puerto Rico hurricane relief show where we raised like $7,500 for Puerto Rico for no reason. My co-hosts don't even like Puerto Ricans.
No reason other than the fact that you're Puerto Rican, and a lot of that money went to the foundation that your second aunt Veronica is running down there. She's like, Luis, what we got to do is we got to do a foundation, okay? We scam the people. We get the money, okay? We have a great Christmas. The Legion of Skanks people donate to the hurricane relief, and we put it in our pockets, eh?
Yeah, no, I'm culturally white, and I will never claim to be a true Puerto Rican. I don't know anything. I've gone to Puerto Rico like 8 times, stay in a resort every time. You know, I tip well. That's my contribution towards Puerto Rico. But we did that, which was nice. Once in a while, I mean, look, we do this all the time. We share things. I donate to GoFundMe's. There are a lot of things that are out there that, you know, we can't do all of them. But oh shit, fuck.
What?
We never talked about that thing that I tweeted, and I really wanted to. It was such a funny story. It was sweet and funny at the same time. Do you want to go back to that, or you want to save it
for the next show? We're going to do a Christmas special on Monday or Tuesday. We're going to do the drinking game, and we'll do that then. We'll do that then.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, good on Justin Gaetjhe. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
what
fucking
else
around.
have we got?
Good for him. Obviously, he's doing great stuff. I'm always trying to be an asshole. So wait, let's do a little bit of a follow-up with Covington, because Covington freaked out at the end of his fight, and he shit on Mark Goddard, saying that his officiating sucked, and he let eye pokes and nut shots, fake eye pokes and nut shots go unnoticed and stopped the fight early and blah, 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 blah. And for the most part, we disagreed with that. But this was Mark Goddard's response. Harry, do you want to read the response? And can you do it in a British accent, please?
Raw emotion in the highest of stakes. Fighting is like nothing else on earth.
It's Irish.
I never get these right. I respect each and every person. I stand between.
Sake, Harrington, man. Can you just read the fucking thing in an English accent?
I respect each and every person, and I stand between, and I will give you all I've got. I'm a human being. Thanks to all.
I respect each and every person.
Stop. Leave it up. First of all, Mark Goddard is from Birmingham, right? So people from Birmingham, they talk like this.
Like the
Bit like they do
Beatles.
Blinders. No, the Beatles are from fucking Liverpool, mate. So it's raw emotion, and the highest stakes of fighting is like nothing else on earth. I respect each and every person I stand between, and I will give you all I've got. I am a human being. Thank you to all who understand what I have put into this game. That will never stop. God bless. Heart emoji. Yeah, fair play.
Heart emoji.
Heart emoji. All right.
Period. Exclamation point.
I'm from Birmingham. That's how they talk. They do, They talk like this.
How do people not love this show? It's the silliest show out there. We're so dumb. It's great.
As I'm talking, I feel stupid. I'm like, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
But you bring it out of me because we have a laugh. I'm enjoying myself. You're enjoying yourself, But so I hope other people are enjoying it also. If you're not, I apologize. But
yeah, if you came for the hard hitting MMA news, I mean, look, you have Michael Bisping who can break it down better than anybody in the world. Okay, but
analyst of the year.
Easily analyst of the year, analyst of the goddamn century, in my opinion. But this is such a fun, silly show. How does anybody? I mean, we don't really get too many haters, but every once in a while, people will be like, "Oh, they're," I guess nobody really complains about us being silly.
I don't know. That show last week, I looked at the YouTube section and I wanted to kill myself. I'm like, oh my God, I need to reevaluate who I am as a person.
Oh, about the runner?
The reporter and the runner, but whatever. Sorry. Stay away from that subject. I was wrong, okay? I was having a laugh.
Well, they arrested the guy, Mike, they arrested the guy, and you feel about that? You can redeem yourself. Right now's your chance.
Just when I thought you could get no dumber, you go out and say something like this and totally redeem yourself. Listen, it was sexual assault, okay? That woman is someone's daughter, okay? You don't do that. No touchy, no feel, okay? Run, look, don't touch, admire, don't touch, shop, don't touch. Go fuck yourself, running man, okay?
That's right. I hope you rot in jail. I hope they give him the fucking electric chair. I hope they put him to death.
Lethal injection. Stone that motherfucker to death. He knows what he was doing. He knows he was making a fool of that woman while she was trying to earn a decent living. Listen, I'm being silly again, and I'm borderline going to offend everybody. All right, listen, I was wrong on that one. Okay, you have a believe you me apology. On behalf of Luis J. Gomez, he told me to say that. Luis told me to say that. You set me up. You said, Michael, be hilarious. I don't like Luis. I don't. Anyway, back to Colby Covington and Mark Goddard. Whatever. Colby's going to say what he's got to say. You know, Colby shouldn't come out with that. I feel that his performance was something to be proud of. And then, you know, looking for excuses and things like that, you know, it's you shouldn't do that. You just got to take it like a man. Unfortunately, he got beat. It was a fantastic fight. And I think even more Colby for that. I really do. He has my respect for that performance and for what he does inside the octagon. All right. Outside of the cage, the way what he says, gimmick, not a gimmick, you know, you formulate your own opinions. But inside the octagon, number one, anyone that fights has my respect. And secondly, you know, after a performance like that, that was one of the greatest fighters we saw this year. Fights that we saw this year. And it's definitely in the running for the best fight. It's got to be top 3. I don't know what they are. We'll maybe do, you know, our votes for best fight, best show, best fighter of the year, all that stuff on New Year's Eve. But Colby should be proud of himself, you know. But he didn't get the job done on that occasion. He was a great fighter, but unfortunately, the better man on the night was Kamaru Usman. There's no shame in that. There's absolutely no shame. And I can't wait to see Colby fight again. What else have we got?
Well, speaking of Usman, you know, I guess he said that he has his sights set on George St. Pierre. Nigerian Nightmare believes he has the tools to stop George. What do you think about that? After watching his performance against Colby, which was nothing short of incredible, you know, Usman really, we've talked so much. It's kind of funny because this is how good Colby did in that fight is the fact that we've spent so much time sucking Colby's dick for 2 shows now about how great it was. That it's almost like we've been failing to recognize how improved Usman looked. He looked, incredible. Do you think that after that performance that he has what it takes to stop George St. Pierre, who, to be honest with you, I believe is unbeatable across the board? I don't think anybody in the world can beat George St. Pierre. I'll say it right now.
Whoa. I was beating the fuck out of George St. Pierre with a broken rib, with one eye, and we never talked about this. My cup broke and was swinging all over the place. That was very distracting.
His dick is huge, guys. I mean, listen to me. It was distracting everyone in the audience.
It's like hanging out the bottom. I kept having to tuck it into my waist. I'm like, shit.
You got to wrap it around your leg.
Like when you get a hard on in public, you're going to tuck it into the top of your jeans. You know, I was like that in the middle of a fight. I'm like, you know, there's kids watching this. It's a family show. Am I okay at your end? I'm moving a little weird at my end. Am I good?
No, you look good on my end. I don't see anything.
Well, thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that. You look good too. Yeah, listen, Usman looked sensational in that fight. And, at welterweight, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think who could beat him right now at welterweight. I don't know about George. Everybody just leave George alone. That's what I say. George is happily retired right now. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing. George is a massive draw. And anytime he fights, you're going to want that payday. You know, and if you can get a fight against him, it's going to be a good earner for you. You know, it was for me. It was a big payday for me. So I understand people wanting to do that. But George, he has hinted, though, to be fair, he would come back for a super fight. I don't
think that Usman would be in. Sorry.
Go on, sorry. No, my bad. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think that he would come back for an Usman fight. No offense to Usman. He's, you know, newly famous. He's, you know, he now has defended the title and looked incredible, right? You know, obviously going to be getting into the top 5 pound for pound lists at this point, but I think it's not big enough of a draw, right? Even with the 170 pound title, what we've sort of learned at this point is that the titles aren't necessarily the biggest draws, okay? The biggest fights possible. There's certain names you put in there. GSP, I think he's only coming back for massive fight. A Conor fight, obviously, that would be something that would tempt him, especially at 170 pounds. But even then, I think him going down to 155 and coming in and fighting Khabib, that, if I'm George, that's the only fight that I'm interested in, because that legacy, 3 weight classes, never, you know, gaining the titles in all those weight classes, that overall with legacy, I'm sure George is rich. I'm sure that he'll never really need to do anything but endorsement deals and you know, be famous for the rest of his life. I don't know if it's gonna be about money necessarily, but in terms of legacy, I just see Conor or Khabib being the only fights that, if I was him, that I would want to come back for.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm Kamaru Usman, you know, I mean, I want to take out the challenges. And right now, he's got a huge potential fight on his hands anyway. You know, at the post-fight press conference, Dana was saying Masvidal versus Usman. I mean, that seems like a lock-in. I mean, think about it. Masvidal knocked out Till, knocked out Askren, and then beats Nate Diaz at 170. You know, and he's right there for a title shot. And Masvidal, he's a massive star right now. Masvidal versus Usman, that would be a huge fight. Certainly, if you put it on a fight card that has another title fight and a stacked undercard, I mean, that would do big pay-per-view numbers. I mean, Masvidal has really transformed himself this year into, one of the sports megastars. It has been a crazy year for him. So if I was him, I'd focus on that fight. And that's a good fight for Usman. I'm not saying Masvidal can't win it. Of course he can. Don't underestimate Masvidal. You cannot underestimate him after the performances that he's had this year. But Usman, he's looking great also. There's also Leon Edwards out there. I sat next to Leon Edwards, by the way, at the fight. He was with Adesanya. Leon Edwards is massive for that division. I had no idea. I'd never stood side by side and had a chat with him. I think he might even be taller than me. And he looked, obviously he's not in fight shape right now, but he looked big. I don't mean fat. I mean, he looked big. He was huge. He's a big, big guy for the welterweight division. Tyron Woodley's always floating around. So there's plenty of good challenges for him and plenty of big paydays. So, but you can't blame him. You can't blame him for asking for George St. Pierre. He's the greatest of all time, certainly at welterweight, if not in the sport in general. So, it's logical. As fighters, we're prize fighters. The prize is money, and we want as much of that as we can get. So that's fair enough. You can't blame him.
I mean, when you look at what George has done, the only person, I guess, comparable at this point, Khabib, and Khabib is, undefeated. He's beaten all comers. He's looked incredible. He basically hasn't lost a round. So he's probably the most accomplished in terms of champions. But George and John Jones are just two guys that even though George had those two losses, in a weird way, is it crazy that I respect the fact that George went back and avenged those losses and just killed Matt Hughes in the rematch, killed Matt Serra in the rematch. So in a way, I just kind of respect the fact that he avenged those losses and said, well, you know what, those guys beat me, they figured it out, but he came back, and I think there's something really commendable about that, and in a weird way, it puts him above Jones to me, and it puts him above Khabib for that reason.
Yeah, I don't know if it puts them above him, but I agree with what you're saying about coming back and beating, avenging the losses. That's always good to see that someone can do that. I mean, Matt Serra, I love Matt Serra, but that was just, Matt Serra hits like a fucking truck, and he caught him. Simple as that. It wasn't a lucky punch.
Good for Matt Serra. That was crazy. Did you watch that live?
Great. Yeah, of course. Yeah, great for Matt Serra. It was fucking huge, And as I said, Matt Serra hits like a truck. It wasn't a fluke. He went out there, he threw the punch, he connected, and he finished him. Good for him. He made some adjustments, came back in the rematch and stopped him, and that's what great champions do. And sometimes for fighters to be great, they need those moments. They need those moments of adversity. Look at Muhammad Ali. He lost a couple here and there, but came back and avenged them. Who else? That's the sign of a great champion. And that always impresses me. When somebody gets beat and they've made some money and they said, you know what, fuck this, I'm off. See ya. Thanks for the cheese. And off they go, But if they say, you know what, he beat me, but I'm going to get him back. Case in point, Anthony Joshua recently. He got knocked out against Ruiz. Went and honed his craft, got a little better, lost some weight, improved his movement, came back and beat him solidly, So it's always impressive when people do that. So, yeah, as my respect. Of course, there is a fight card happening this weekend. How are we doing on time? We've been going for a while now.
We're doing okay on time. So, yeah, why don't we do some picks for the main and co-main, and then we'll get a question or two, and we'll wrap this one up. I know it's a little bit of a shorter show than we've been doing recently, so we do apologize. It's a holiday season, guys, so give us a little bit of flexibility here. We are trying to get 2 a weekend for you guys. Real quick, before we even switch gears, if you don't mind, let me take a moment. If you love the show, go to our iTunes, Stitcher, whatever it is, however you consume the show, leave us a 5-star ranking, a positive review. Tell some friends about the show this holiday season. Throw an episode on during Christmas. If your friends are hanging out, you guys are watching some sports or some Christmas movies, boom, throw on a podcast episode, make you laugh a little bit, hopefully. Also,
maybe in the car. Maybe in the car. I recommend it more in the car, not if you're in the house enjoying Christmas with the kids. It's not really suitable for that. But if you're doing a long drive, maybe you just got an hour to kill, stick it on in the car with your friends. They'll love it. Leave a 5-star review. Lewis, back to you.
Play it in your baby's crib. I say put the speaker right next to him as he goes to sleep and let us seep into his minds every single day, okay? No, obviously we love you guys, and our YouTube channel is growing massively. Go subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you guys want to get notifications when the show is premiering live on YouTube, if you subscribe on the YouTube channel, bing, right to your phone, you'll know exactly when you get to premiere live. Me and Bisping are both known to pop into the live chat from time to time. And last but not least, every episode is available on demand at your fingertips. The latest 30 episodes on iTunes and YouTube and everywhere else, but the entire on-demand library is available at gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM, get a 14-day free trial, pre-release, ad-free episodes, plus the entire on-demand library for all my other podcasts as well. Use that promo code BYM. All right, so this weekend, it's going to be South Korea. Is that where they're at?
Busan or Bousan. I don't know how you pronounce it, but Busan, South Korea. I mean, you got to feel for these people, number one, that work for the UFC because they're just on the road constantly. I was in
The
Vegas
week of
last
Christmas.
week. So I know some of the guys that I work with, and Steve, he's the head of security. Awesome guy. You might see him now and again. Big, tall guy, bald head, always dressed in black. Kenny, he's the head of security as well. And they're like, oh yeah, we finished this show, we go straight to the airport and fly to South Korea. So those guys are on a relentless schedule. But yeah, it's a great main event, of course. Who was it, Harrington? It was the Korean Zombie versus Brian Ortega. That was the original fight. Brian Ortega got injured.
Harrington
Frankie
had a
Edgar
dip, by the way, just in case. Sorry,
Pardon me?
Harrington had a dip, so if you want to call him in for anything, he's
he's gone. He's gone. Yeah, don't worry. Oh, yeah. Thanks for letting me know, Harrington. Little farewell Christmas text. I'm leaving, Mike. No respect. Yeah, so anyway, Brian Ortega got injured. He had to step out. That's a shame for Brian. I don't think he's fought this year. But still got a great fight. Korean Zombie. He fought earlier this year. I commentated the fight. I should know who it was. He knocked him out very, very fast.
Wow. Michael Bisping, usually
right hand.
I can't believe you don't know this, just off the top of your head. Really? You commentated the fight. Jesus Christ.
Just give me a hint. Give me a hint.
All right, I'll give you a hint right now. Thanks, Brian. It was wow, this is a little I know about MMA. I can't even give you a hint.
Yeah, because here's the thing. People sometimes in the comments are like, Lewis is such a casual. It's like, yeah, he doesn't pretend to be. I mean, he's a fan of the sport. He watches the sport. You know a lot about the sport, but you don't pretend to be a hardcore know-it-all.
No, well, I'm not. Here's the thing. I used to be more of a nerd about it, right? So when we started the radio show, even, I was way more like, I would obsessively read the MMA blogs every day, and every fight that was happening, I would watch no matter what. But also, you got to understand, it was, number one, I was less successful then, so I wasn't on the road as much. I wasn't, on Saturday nights, I wasn't performing every single Saturday night. Number two, there was also one fight a month at the time. It was way less fights at our fingertips, and because there was so much less MMA available, it was easier to be obsessed. You wanted to catch every undercard. I remember when they started doing the prelims on like Spike TV. It was like, whoa, we get 5 more fights for free. This is fucking crazy. But I really did try to go down that path. You know that when I was at when we were doing the radio show, like I met with Fox right when the Fox deal happened. Like I went in a suit. I met for an analyst job. Like I straight up was going to go down that path. And I spoke to my manager at the time, and I was like, I don't want to do this at all. Like, this isn't like me. This is like...
Had nothing to do with the fact that you didn't get picked and selected for the job. You're like, yeah, no, I didn't even want the job anyway.
Oh, hold on. They did call me back in to do more stuff, and they wanted to talk to me more at Fox. But I told my manager, I was like, I don't want to wear a suit. I don't want to do this. I'm doing what I'm already doing as a comic. And to be honest with you, I say crazy shit. If I got a job at Fox, that job would be very short-lived. I would get fired very, very quickly.
It would have been very, very short-lived. But, I just happened to have my phone in my hand, but still, I had an epiphany. I'm like, hold on a minute. You're right. I did commentate that fight. And I'm like, hold on. Oh, of course, Renato Moicano. That's
obviously.
Obviously, I think it was 58 seconds. He stopped him in 58 seconds. I remember it. I looked it up on Wikipedia, obviously, but it was a beautiful performance. I think Renato came forward with the jab. Pretty much the first punch that he threw, he slipped it. He countered with a pitch-perfect right hand, put him down, and then finished the fight really fast. Prior to that, he lost to Yair Rodriguez in a fight that he was winning. Of course, he had that last-minute elbow from Rodriguez that knocked him out. That was really, that was a shame. He was winning that fight. Listen, as we know, Korean Zombie, always in exciting fights, and I feel like he's getting better. The way he slipped that punch and landed the right hand, it was a thing of beauty. Now, of course, he's taking on fan favorite, UFC legend, Frankie Edgar. I mean, if you don't love Frankie Edgar, go fuck yourself. The guy's just awesome. He's a very, very humble, working class kind of guy. Fight anyone, anywhere. He's flying off to South Korea now to take on a very, very tough fight. His last fight, he took on Max Holloway at relatively short notice.
in the middle of a training camp, by the way, as he's supposed to make his 135-pound debut next month at UFC Rally. He's supposed to fight Cody Sandhagen. He's taken another fight in the middle of it, and also he's still listed to fight Cody next month. So he could, if he wins this fight in spectacular fashion, doesn't get hurt, doesn't deal with any injuries, he might still be fighting in his bantamweight debut a month from now.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Was that you speculating? Is that written out there? Is that been reported in MMA articles on websites and stuff?
I'm from what I've gathered from the notes that Harrington gave us. He's still signed to fight Cody Sandhagen as of right now. So maybe we're wrong. Maybe it could change by the time this comes out. But either way, pretty impressive. Frankie's in that weird position where coming off a loss against Max the way he did, he has to do some spectacular things. With all due respect, it's when you took the Gastelum fight. You're like, dude, I got to do something spectacular right now in order to.
Yeah, not just that. When I fought Charles McCarthy, when I made my middleweight debut, I was waiting in line to go onto the stage to weigh in. And Marshall Zalesnik, head of the UK operations for the UFC at the time, came up and said, Mike, we had somebody drop out. I think it was Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell was supposed to fight and he got injured. He said, we really need you on that card in the UK. He said, I know you're just about to weigh in. He said, but would you mind fighting on the card in another 4 weeks?
And you fought Charles McCarthy. So right before you weighed in, you booked another fight?
Yeah. Before,
wow.
I said, yeah, sure. I said, let me get through this one. I said, yeah, absolutely. As long as I don't get some stupid injury, I'm there. Of course, I went out there, beat Charles McCarthy, didn't get injured. And then we beat, what was his name? Jason Day, who beat Alan Belcher on the same night. So yeah, no, but that's awesome. That Frankie, see, that's what I mean. That's the type of heart that this guy has, and it'll be a sad day when he retires, but you got to think that day is coming soon. But let's talk about the fight. I mean, Korean Zombie, excellent striker, excellent cardio, fighting spirit, all the rest of it, ticks all those boxes. The big advantage that Frankie has in this fight is the wrestling. But it's always a case, is he going to use it? Of course, he had a tough time against Max Holloway. Most people have a tough time against Max Holloway. He was a long reigning champ for a long time. If Frankie can get his hands around the legs of the Korean Zombie, then he's going to have a tough time. But the Korean Zombie's working with Eddie Cha. I forget the name of the gym, but he's a very, very good coach these days. He's kind of switched things up a little bit. He's training out here in America where there's more wrestling, that I'm assuming there is in South Korea. Nothing against that South Korean wrestling program, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it exists. I don't know if they train wrestling out there. I'm sure if you're doing mixed martial arts, they focus on it a little bit, but he's training out here in the States these days. So he'll be prepared. That'll be a fun one. That'll be a great fight. That'll be a fantastic fight. Co-main event's a good one. Sorry, Lewis, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to say, we can give some picks here, I guess, if we want to. I think Korean Zombie might get it done. I think Frankie's awesome. I really do. But Frankie, it's not like he doesn't go in there and really uses his wrestling to win fights ever. When's the last time we saw Frankie just try to take a guy down and just sort of stick to that game plan and be very, very committed to it? Yeah, could be anybody's fight, but Korean Zombie's a beast. And am I mistaken? He did lose against Yair Rodriguez, but he was doing well in that fight before he got caught with that crazy elbow, right?
Yeah, I think he was ahead on the scorecards. It was a competitive fight, but Rodriguez just caught him at the last minute. It was a competitive fight, but yeah, Zombie was ahead. He was winning that fight. If another 10 seconds had passed, he would have won a decision in that fight, in my opinion. I don't know. It's a tough one. As I said, no disrespect to Frankie, but he has to be coming towards the end of his career. And Zombie he had military service. He got pulled away for a couple of years, which is...
Is that what happened?
I'm sure that was it. Yeah. He had to go do military service. I forget what they call it. He got, what do they call it here?
Drafted.
He got drafted into the military. I think it's compulsory in South Korea. So I think he did 2 years away from the sport. So he did 2 years away from the sport. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because while at the time that was certainly detrimental to his UFC career, one could argue it's lengthened his career because 2 years away from training camps, let's say he had 6 fights in that time. It's all miles on the clock, just like any good car. The more miles on the clock, the more wear and tear, and the human body's no different. So,
we also don't know what he saw in that 2 years, though. He might have seen a lot of fucking crazy Korean war shit that changed who he is at his core.
Yeah, listen, I don't follow Korean politics too much, but I'm pretty sure I don't know of a Korean war that they were in recently. Maybe I'm.
Aren't they currently
Maybe
at war with North Korea? Like it's a regular thing? I have no idea. I'm
they're
such
not
an
at war.
idiot.
No, North Korea and South Korea, they hate one another and they got this whole thing going on. But South Korea, they're living the life. You know, they got fucking K-pop. Their economy is booming. They're happy, you know. And North Korea on the other side, just over that wall there, they're all fucking starving and living like robots and being told what to do. You know, so South Korea, they're good. North Korea and South Korea, they have a thing, but they haven't been at war. They haven't been at war.
By the way, that's what North Korea, that's what they tell their citizens about America. It's like, yeah, over in America, dude, they're starving in the streets. It's brutal.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, they have like crazy, like, what do they call it?
Propaganda.
Propaganda. Damn it. Together, we're one smart guy. Collectively, we got a vocabulary, we got timing.
Between the two of us, we got this shit dialed in, baby boy. So yeah, listen. He's got less miles on the clock. So, you know, I'm inclined to think that Zombie can get it done. But I'll tell you this. I refuse to bet against Frankie Edgar. I'm a fan of the guy. I love what he's done for the sport. I love him as a person. He's just a fucking solid dude. And the Zombie, I'm sure he's a great guy as well, you know? Great guy. I'm sure he is. I've never heard anything bad, but I can't go against Frankie Edgar. So I'm rooting for Frankie. There you go.
You want to throw some Bimcoin with me and you? How about we do 100 Bimcoin?
Well, just because I'm ahead, just because I'm winning the wars of the Bimcoin. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
One-on-one. Me and you.
One-on-one.
Even odds.
100 apiece. I say Frankie, you say
Korean Zombie.
The Zombie. All right, cool.
Co-main
Sounds
event,
good.
Volkan Oezdemir versus Alexander Rakic.
Cricket.
So yeah,
that's a tough fight. I mean, I saw them square in this morning. Square up yesterday. They fucking somewhere. I don't know when I saw him, but Rakic is huge. He's massive, and I think the last time we saw him is earlier this year when he knocked out Jimmy Manuwa, and it was a fucking bad knockout. It was a head kick, I think.
Manuwa retired after that knockout. I don't know a ton about Rakic. I know that Volkan, he just lost a few in a row, and then he ended up getting a win over Ilir Latifi, who, interestingly enough, is moving up to heavyweight. Kind of weird. He was a big light heavyweight, I feel like. Or I'm sorry. I feel like he could have probably gotten down to middleweight, right? He was like an undersized, kind of short, stocky, light heavyweight. So
stocky as hell. So maybe middleweight would be a tough one, but Latifi, lovely switching of gears, you ADD motherfucker there. But Latifi going up against Derek Lewis is definitely going to be a size advantage. But going back to Alexander Rakic for a second, he is his record is 12-1, 9 knockouts, 1 submission, 2 decisions, 4-0 inside the UFC so far. And he's got 2 knockouts. And he's big, man. Let's just have a look how big he is. He's very, very tall. Where is he?
He's got a 3-inch reach advantage right now.
6'5". Yeah, he's a big, big boy. But, you know, Oezdemir is fucking good. Oezdemir has knockout power as well. So, I don't know, man. I don't know how that one's going to go down. But it's a fan. You know, that's a fan-friendly fight because both of them have exciting styles. They're both really, really good strikers. They like to fight on the feet, so that'll be a good one. Tune in for that one, please, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Should we do some questions?
Yeah, let's get a question or two before we wrap this one up. Brian, we got anything?
Yeah, I got one from Alex Hobie.
We got, and also I will say I know a lot of people. I'm like, oh, dude, why don't you read my question? If your questions suck, dick, we're not going to read them on the show. We're not just reading any question that comes in. It has to be good. It has to inspire
if
something.
Your question says, "What would you rather do? Stink of shit or pee the bed or whatever it was?" We're not gonna answer it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, that was Harrington.
Yeah. That question sucked. Can we just vet the questions a little bit? I mean, you asked me the question live on TV on the show, so I had to answer. I had to go with it, but you know, just a little bit of let's just see what they're gonna say in the questions. But without further ado, question numero uno.
All right, this one's from Alex.
Good old Alex.
For both of you. So I interviewed at 9 dental schools, and I got 6 wait lists. My question is, what was your lowest point in your careers, and how did you get out of it? All right, thanks, guys.
Holy shit. Sweet depression.
I was just about to say, did we just speak or hear from the most depressed guy in the world? And what did he say? Let's just play the entire question again, please, Brian, if you don't mind, because it was short and sweet to the point. I like that.
My question is for both of you. So I interviewed at 9 dental schools and I got 6 waitlists. My question is, what was your lowest point in your careers and how did you get out of it? All right,
So
thanks,
he
guys.
interviewed at 9 dental schools and got 6 wait lists. So I'm assuming that means that he didn't actually get into dental school. He's waiting to get into these schools. I got to be honest with you, sir. It's your personality. That interview.
I imagine in the interview as well. He walks in like, and that guy, what's his name? Alex? Alex has got dental skills through the fucking roof. I mean, that guy, you want to see the veneer work that he does. He could drill a hole from the other side of the room with laser vision. You know what I mean? But he walks in. You got to sell yourself, doggy. You got to sell yourself in the interview. It's people skills, one-on-one. Nobody wants to get treated of that dentist. He looks like a serial killer.
Yeah, I went to a dentist this morning. If that guy walked out, I'd be like, sir, I need to go right now. You're bumming me out. It's a Christmas season. I'm already having a little bit of seasonal depression. He's like fucking Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
When I got $40,000 worth of free dental work in that beautiful place with supermodels for staff and glass walls, and it was just like a place from the future, if the most depressing man in the world walked in, which was that man, Alex, I'd have said, fuck no. No, you are not operating on me. You are not drilling my teeth away. I'm very sorry.
Yeah. So, Alex, here's the thing. This is a little microcosm for the rest of the universe. This is the world that we live in. This world, no matter how much talent you have, no matter how good you are at what you do, right? It's about getting people to like you. It's about getting the people to feel comfortable with you. It's about people going like, hey, I'm rooting for that guy. Right?
Relationships.
Simple as that. We've talked about it in comedy before. We talked about it in fighting before. Guess what? You could probably drill a tooth. You could probably go out there. He's trying to get in dental school. So you probably have the skill set to learn how to drill a tooth. But if it's based off of what we just watched, got to pick it up. And we'll give you some advice if you want. If we can teach you how to be more of a badass dude, but it's going to take way more than this question segment.
And how hard can it really be to learn how to drill a tooth? You know what I mean? A steady hand, good eyesight. If you haven't got the good eyesight, you wear glasses.
You're fucked.
You just fucking drill away. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Alex, you gotta dazzle these people in the interviews. You've got to let them think, we need Alex. We need this guy. He's the future of our dental school, you know? So that's what you got to do. Alex, work on your personality. Get out there in the big wide world.
And the way you look. You could be better looking.
Take
too.
your hat off. Take your fucking hat off. What are you doing? Okay? You look like a 12-year-old stoner. Okay? Yeah, Alex, get it together. Get it together.
What, Alex? Dental work probably isn't for you. Maybe you could sell weed. You could
he looks like a drug dealer.
Get on Twitch. Do a video game streaming channel.
Hey guys, he wasn't asking for advice. He did ask for your
lowest point. This was my lowest point in my career. Watching Alex's fucking pathetic question.
Oh God, lowest point in my career. I've had too many. My life, it's a constant high and it's a constant low. I'm battling every day, inner demons. You look at me and you think, wow, this man has it all. He has it all. But you look at people, you don't know what's going on in the gray matter between the ears on the inside. I'm dying. I'm a sad clown, Lewis. You look at me, I'm happy, I smile. The room glows up, figuratively and literally, because the light rebounds off my teeth. But inside, I'm dying. We got one more question.
Do we, or is that it?
Yeah, I have one from Millie.
Millie.
Oh, Millie.
Our good friend Millie.
Hey, what's up, Michael Bisping and Louis Shea Gomez? It's your buddy Millie here again. And I have a simple Christmas question for you. Since it is Christmas time, what is the best gift you've ever received and the absolute worst? I'm not talking about like boxer briefs or like a pair of socks. I'm talking like you opened the gift and you were like kind of insulted that like the person that got you the gift had to know nothing about you in order to get you that gift. All right, let me know. Thanks, and happy holidays.
Well, first of all, Millie, thanks for the question. And by the way, everybody, give him a follow on Instagram. Brantendo is his name. He's lobbying pretty hard to be my producer out here. He lives in Orange County. I even commented on his Instagram today, my future producer. When I take the plunge and we go to the next level of production value, which is happening very soon, Brantendo, if you're serious, man, and you're in the area, then yeah, okay, let's do it. Now, for me, I've got to say, regarding your question, I've never had a bad present. I never open up a gift that somebody's taken the time to buy for me. They've wrapped it. They've put it under the tree for me. And I'm not going to scoff at their choice of gift. I'm just happy that they thought of me. I'm happy they went out of the way. They parted ways with their hard-earned money and wrapped it up. And in fact, Millie, you're fired. You didn't even get the job, but no, I don't want you. One time, no, seriously, I've never had a bad gift, but I've never been disappointed by a gift. I'm always grateful. But I remember one time it was Christmas and we're opening presents for the kids. And Ellie opened up a pair of shoes, and Lucas was young, and he was just like, shoes? Seriously? Shoes? Because, like, you know, the age he was, he just couldn't comprehend that shoes would be a gift. But, Lewis, what say you?
Best gift? Let me think of the best gift ever. I mean, I've had. Is it just Christmas? I'm a weird guy. I don't want gifts. I truly don't want people to get me anything. I have a very, it's a weird thing that's built into me. When somebody gives me something for nothing, it makes me feel very uncomfortable. So even if it's just an act of generosity, like somebody buying a drink at a bar, every time somebody goes to buy me a drink at a bar, I say no. It's rude almost. To be honest with you, that's not the way you're supposed to be. That's why fucking Conor McGregor punched an old man.
Every time I have bought a drink, you've been, fine, no worries, Bisping, make mine a double. Okay?
That's not true. Every time we go out,
feel weird about it. Next time, say, Bisping, no, your money's no good here. Okay, allow me to treat you for once.
That's not true. Every time we go out, we always have the battle of the fucking cards. Every single time. And to be honest with you, it's like that's insecurity on my end. I have trouble going out with a girl, and if she offers to pay for dinner, I have major trouble saying yes to something like that. And it comes from being poor and not having anything and thinking of like just having that insecurity. But then Ralph, who grew up fairly affluent, he had, he grew up in a New York City. Dad was, pretty well to do.
Spoon in his mouth. God, I hate him.
But then he'll go out with a chick and he's like, oh yeah, I love when a chick pays for dinner. Sexy. And it's just because he's so secure. He's not overthinking any of that shit. So I always feel very weird.
Right. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. But when people give me gifts, every time I feel like, you really don't have to do that. And I feel like I'm coming off unappreciative because I don't want somebody to really hand me anything for nothing. I would rather have some sort of like whatever bartership or whatever it is. So it is stupid, but it's just me being crazy where I.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody listening to this show, family, friends, relatives, loved ones of Luis J. Gomez, don't get him anything for Christmas this year.
Don't.
He doesn't like it. It makes him feel very uncomfortable.
You know what would make me feel good? Donate to St. Jude's. Go make a donation to St. Jude's on behalf of myself, the podcast, whatever it is. There are children that have fucking cancer that are spending the holiday season in a hospital bed. It's the saddest thing in the entire world.
God, I hate you. I hate you.
I say that every birthday.
I'm being silly and going like, everybody don't get him, and like you jump on, you're like, yeah, you're right. Don't donate to sick children, which is a beautiful thing. You're absolutely right. But you just made me come off as like a fucking asshole.
You're a piece of shit.
You know what I mean?
Bisping wants new veneers. He wants new $40,000 teeth. Come on, everyone, give Bisping new teeth.
Cheers. And on that note, we'll see you on Monday. Adios.